In this episode, we're diving into how money after divorce happens and how it can feel like one of the most overwhelming parts of starting over. And sweet friend, you are not alone in that. This episode goes straight to the topic so many women avoid out of shame or out of fear. How do you rebuild your financial life when you feel like everything else was a reset? This is an honest, grounded conversation, the kind you would have with a trusted friend who has been there for you. You will finally feel seen in the part of your healing journey that no one wants to talk about out loud. And you will walk away with clear-eyed perspective on where you actually stand. Practical steps you can take right now, and the faith-rooted reminder that starting over is not the same as starting defeated. God does not waste a single chapter, including this one. If you're tired of carrying wounds from your past marriage or your past relationship, and you are afraid of being hurt again, but want to learn how to communicate and build trust so you can find a godly partner, you are in the right place. I am Patty Moringuera, a relationship coach for Christian women over 40. I learned the secrets of building a God-centered relationship after divorce, healing emotionally, and overcoming fear without losing myself in the process. If you're ready for healing, stability in your life, and maybe even dating again, grab your earbuds and a notebook to take notes, and let's do this. I remember sitting at my kitchen table after divorce, staring at my bank account, and there was just enough for rent. That was it. I was a grown woman, a mom, someone who had always figured things out, and I was living paycheck to paycheck, terrified to look at my own finances. Every Friday felt like a countdown. I wasn't spending recklessly, I was just surviving. And the shame of that? It was louder than any bill. If you have ever sat in that same silence, wondering how you got here and whether you will ever feel stable again, sweet friend, this episode is for you because I found my way out. And I want to show you the first steps I wish someone had shown me. Tip number 1, you cannot fix what you refuse to face. Avoidance is the number one reason women stay stuck financially after divorce. When the numbers feel scary, the instinct is to look away, not to open the statements, not to check the balance, not to make the calls. But avoidance is not protection, it's just a delayed pain with interest. After divorce, money is tangled up with grief, with shame, with identity. Looking at your finances can feel like looking at proof that you fell apart or that your life fell apart. I know because I sat at that kitchen table, heart pounding, staring at a number that was just enough for rent. And part of me wanted to close the laptop and pretend it wasn't real. The shame of the balance was louder than any bill I had to pay. Now, how do you overcome this? Start with one number, not a full budget, not a spreadsheet. Just open the account and look. That single act of courage is what breaks the cycle. God cannot guide you to a destination you are too afraid to see. Clarity, even when it hurts, it's the beginning of freedom. Number 2, surviving is not the same as rebuilding. See, there's a difference between getting through the month and actually building a new financial foundation. Many women get stuck in survival mode, covering the basics, making it to Friday, without ever taking the step that moves them forward. Survival is necessary, but it was never meant to be permanent. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, your whole focus narrows to right now. There's no mental or emotional bandwidth left to think about next month, let alone next year. I lived that. Every Friday felt like a countdown. I was not being irresponsible. I was just trying to keep the lights on and show up for my kids. Survival mode kept me going, but it also kept me from growing. How do you overcome this? The shift from survival to rebuilding starts with one intentional decision, not a perfect plan. Just one. It could be maybe moving $20 to a separate account, canceling one subscription. Look at all the subscriptions that you have, that you are signed up for. Cancel one that you don't need. Or writing down 3 financial goals for the next 90 days. Small intentional moves signal to yourself, I'm no longer just reacting, I am building. And step number 3, shame keeps you broke longer than the divorce ever did. Financial shame after divorce is real. I'm not saying it's not. And it is one of the most silent obstacles to recover. It convinces you that your situation is proof of failure, that you should have known better, that a woman your age should not be starting over, and as long as that voice is running in the background, it will quietly sabotage every step forward. We live in a world that ties a woman's worth to her stability, her home, her security, her ability to provide. Divorce strips a lot of that away overnight. I was a capable, a resourceful woman, and I still feel like I had somehow failed at adulting. The shame was not about the money, it was about what I thought the money said about me. I wasn't ashamed of being broke, I was ashamed of being seen as broken. And how I overcame this? I separated my worth from my wallet. See, your bank account reflects a season. It doesn't define your character, your calling, or your future. Start speaking about your finances with the same grace you would give your best friend. Then take one practical step in the light instead of hiding in the dark. Healing and rebuilding happens in the open, not in the shame spiral. Okay. If you're a divorced Christian woman who is tired of feeling broken, too old, or like you missed your chance at love, I need you to hear this. You are not damaged goods, and God is not finished with your story. But winging it and dating after divorce is exactly how you end up repeating the same painful patterns. Inside my Dating After Divorce membership, you will get a proven framework to spot red flags early, weekly coaching calls for real dating situations, and a community of women who truly get what you're walking through, all rooted in faith and practical guidance. Right now, I am looking for a few founding members to lock in 50% off for life before this offer closes and the price goes up. No more settling out of fear, no more giving your heart to men who haven't earned it. You deserve a love that honors you, and it's time to believe that is possible. The link is in the show notes, but do not wait. This offer will not last long. So let's recap now. You cannot fix what you refuse to face. So open the bank account, look at the number, start there. I know it is scary, but courage starts with a single glance, not a perfect plan. Number 2, surviving is not the same as rebuilding. One intentional decision moves you from reacting to building. You have already proven you can make it through. Now it's time to make it forward. And number 3, shame keeps you broke longer than the divorce ever did. Separate your worth from your wallet. Your bank account is a number, not a verdict, and it can change. I want you to hear this before you close out today. Starting over is not the same as starting defeated. I know what it feels like to sit at the table, stare at a number that barely covers rent, and wonder if stability is even still possible for a woman like you. It is. I am living proof of that. Your bank account reflects a season. It does not define your story. The 3 things we covered today, facing your numbers, making one intentional move, and releasing the shame, they are not a 5-year plan. They are the first 3 steps out of the fog. You do not need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next step in faith, even when the full picture is not clear yet. God did not bring you through the hardest chapter of your life just to leave you stuck in the finances chapter. He is in this too. And if you're willing to be brave enough to look and intentional enough to move and honest enough to let go of the shame, you will rebuild not just your bank account, your whole life. Hey sister, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share this episode with a friend who may want to hear it to help her heal from her past wounds? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. Okay, now go pour yourself a cup of coffee, open your journal, and sit with everything God spoke to you today. You deserve that quiet moment with Him. I'll meet you back on Tuesday for another episode. And like my mom used to say, que Dios te acompañe siempre. And that translates to, may God go with you wherever you go.